we are going to be talking about how to launch and sell your book on Amazon Kindle. So we've previously looked at various topics like how to format your book, we looked at the formatting guide, Amazon formatting guide, and we also looked at how to design your book covers. So please do make sure that you download the ebook for this course because it contains lots more details. The essence of the video is just to show you the practicals so that you see them yourself. But if you go through the books, through the book, you can also be able to do a lot because it contains much more information. So we're going to be diving straight into how to self-publish ebooks and print books for free with Kindle Direct Publishing. And with this, you can reach millions of readers. Okay, if you are taking this course from Nigeria, you have very limited options as to where you can publish your book. So I'm going to advise that you stick with Amazon and then maybe a few other Nigerian publishers because I've experienced a case where some of these platforms like Smashword, Draft to Digital closed down Nigerian accounts for one reason or another. Okay, so the first thing you will want to do is to create your account. I already have my account. If you don't have an account yet, you have to go to sign up. So because I already have an account with Amazon and I was logged in before, I am seeing sign in. But for the sake of this class, I want to take you through the sign up process. I won't be signing up. I just want to take you through the sign up process so that you see what is involved. So when you go to sign up, the first thing you see is you put in your email and you put in your password. That is okay. Sorry, when you go to sign up, it's still going to bring you to the sign in page, but then you have to come down here and click on create your KDP account. So when you click on KDP account, you put in your first name, you put in your email, and then you put in your password. And I think you will have to verify the email you want to use to create your account. So let's sign in and let's see what you can do. All right. So this is what my Kindle looks like. You can see I've published some books. Some books are yet to be published. Some we're just here for purpose of training. You can see the indie book publishing class, the book itself. You can see the amount it sells for on the Amazon Kindle publisher. All right, so on this Kindle, on this direct publishing, you have your bookshelf, you have your reports, you have your community, and you have marketing. Up here, you have your account, you have language, probably English. You have the help, you have the sign, and then you have, I think this is sort of review or something where you rate your experience using the platform. Okay, so I'm going to be taking you through all of these things. Now, the bookshelf is where your books are listed. So the bookshelf is the first thing you see when you come into the platform. And the report is where you get report of how your book is performing. Then community is sort of a forum where you can follow up on topics, ask questions, and see what others are doing. Where you can connect with other publishers. If you have difficulties, this is where you can find solutions to your problem. And then the marketing is where you find tools that you can use to market. And now we have what we call the KDP Select. Enrolling your book on KDP Select means that you are only going to be selling with KDP. You are not allowed to put your book elsewhere. However, there are some promotional tools that you have access to when you use KDP Select. So for Nigerians, I will encourage maybe you use your KDP Select. You use KDP Select since you are more likely not going to be publishing on some other platforms. But if you want to publish on other platforms, then there is no point selecting KDP Select. And then you have your Amazon ads where you choose you can run ads with Amazon to promote your book. And then you have the author central where you manage your author page. This is where you write about yourself and everything. So this is the page that represents your person as an author. And then you have the A plus content. So with A plus content, you can add images, text, comparison tables to your product detail page to engage readers and give more information as they consider buying your book. And then you also have the run a price promotion. This run a price promotion is kind of you creating a Kindle countdown on your book, and it's available only to KDP Select books. So, and only one promotion can be used per enrollment period. Okay, all right. So, then you have your nominates ebook. You can nominate your ebook for Kindle deals and prime reading. Yeah, is that on the marketing resources. So let's go back to the bookshelf. Okay, now back to the bookshelf. To create your Kindle book, the first thing I encourage you to do is to download. Go to here. Here we also have the Create a Book. We have book timelines. We have free ISBNs. We have tools and resources. When you click on tools, you can find some resources as regards to creating an ebook, right? But the reason why I mentioned clicking this place is because I want you to download a tool called Kindle Create. Kindle Create. So when you come to this place, you go down to tools and resources, and you go down to Kindle Create Help Overview. When you come to Kindle Create Help Overview, you go to download Kindle Create. Download Kindle Create. Then you click on that and it downloads, and you choose your device. So if you are using Windows, it works from Windows 10 above. And if you are also using Mac, you can download for Mac. In my case, I'm using Mac. You can download for Windows. I already have it on my Windows laptop, but I want to download it on my Mac. The interface is pretty much the same. So I'm going to show you how you can use Kindle Create to create your book. Begin downloading, you need to look at the requirements, the requirements for your system. You can use 4 gig RAM, but 8 gig RAM is recommended. And your processor should be running from at least 1.2 gigahertz, but 2 gigahertz is recommended. And then you should be using Windows 10 or later. You should be using Intel Mac OS X 10.15 or later, or you should be using Apple M1 Mac OS or later. All right. And then you can still look at more details as regards to Kindle Create here. Okay. Of course, on Windows, the installation process might be different. Yeah, but it's pretty straightforward. Doesn't need any explanation. Okay, so we've installed Kindle Create, and I'm going to go ahead to open Kindle Create so that we see what the inside looks like. And I'm also going to be explaining um, whatever we have on the Kindle Create. The thing we have to do is to go to Create New. You go to Create New. By now, you already have your manuscript that you want to use. We go to create new. Here we have the reflowable, we have the comics, and we have the print replica. For ebooks, I advise that you go with this. If you are also trying to publish your ebook and your paperback at the same time, I still advise you go with this. So we have the we go with the reflowable, but meanwhile the comics is for um, books from a PDF file or sequential JPEGs for digital publication, and print replica are for books with fixed layout. You've already designed the book, maybe you've designed the book with CorelDRAW, you've designed the book with InDesign and other softwares, and you fixed the layout and you don't want anything to change. So that means it's not going to be dynamic, it's not going to adapt to tablet or mobile. It's going to have the same layout whether on tablet or whether on smartphone. The only difference is that if you are using a small screen, you might not be able to read it very well. So for ebooks, we recommend, especially books that doesn't have a lot of images and all that, we recommend you using this particular format. So we go with the reflowable. Then you'll be asked to select your document. Okay, so let me locate my documents. I'm going to use a previous book I have published before. So I'm just going to be using the manuscript for this exercise. Okay, since I can't open it directly from, okay, it's important. So depending on the size of your book, it might take a little time to fully import. All right. And so here we have the book. Remember, you've formatted your book before. So that book you've formatted, this is what you get at the end. Okay, so when you import a book, it gives you your chapter titles and you select what you want to be part of the chapter title and what you don't want to be part of the chapter title. So personally, I want to have preface, exhortation, chapter 1, 2 to 10, and connect to the author. But I don't want to have the title on my chapter um, titles. I don't want to have my name. Okay, so this I've unselected these ones, and then I'll click on accept selected. So I have accepted selected. Now we have the preface, we have the exhortation, we have the chapter 1. And if you want to add the, the table of content as a chapter title, all you have to do is to on this content, place your cursor here and come to the elements on page. You have the chapter title here, so you click on chapter title. Now, by clicking on this place, it adds this one as a chapter, as a title, right? Then for the copyright, you can also do the same thing. You come to this place, you can decide to simply give it a heading, copyright, and then you give it a chapter title also. That is if you want to do it, all right? So I don't want to. So I'm just showing you what you can do. Yeah. So we have the content, the table of content. We have the preface. So the title here, you can also format it. So it's not a must. You must have this big bulky stuff here. You can change the alignment to left if you want, and you can change the font size to what you want. So anything you want here, you can do so. You can also change the indent. So you can, if for example you put it on the and you feel like the indent is too far from so yeah, so you adjust the indent to align with the previous, with what you have there. All right, so I just keep it at 0, at 0, at 0, and I can decide to to space to put in to space it. So all these things here are available for you to play around with. Now, the beautiful thing about the Kindle Create is that every book you format, once you format a book with Kindle Create, you are formatting once. You are formatting once and for all for both your PDF and your um, paperback, even your hardcover. You are formatting once and for all. So you don't need to pay exorbitant fees for people to help you do the formatting. All right. So you might want to confirm your chapters and be sure that you have like what you need, what you want is there. So you might want to um, check all of these ones out, and then after checking them out, you can also go to theme. When you go to theme, you can change the theme that you want your book to have. So we have the classic, we have the cosmos, we have the armor, and we have the modern. So whichever one you choose is going to define what your book looks like. So, so you can see the changes it gives to you. And then we also have the print setting. You can decide how you want your print book to look like. You want the if you want the chapter, the author, and the book title to be centralized, and also the page numbers, you can choose that. If you don't want the book title and the author name to appear at all at the pages of the book, you can choose that. So whatever style you want, you choose as you deem it fit. All right. So this is how you don't need, as long as you formatted your book using the, remember to always save your file. As long as you formatted your book using the method I showed you before, the method I showed you before, you can, yeah, as long as you formatted your book, you can, it's always easy. Um, Once you bring it in here, you don't need to do any extraordinary stuffs again. So all you have to do is you can go to preview and see what your book looks like on the various devices, both for landscape, for portraits. You can also look at what your book looks like on the phone. So, so when you are done with all of this, when you are done with all of this, you can close the preview and go to export, and you export your book. Now, one of the good features of this Kindle Create is that initially Kindle was not allowing people to format books with Kindle Create and publish on other platforms. But the good news is that right now you can use Kindle Create to publish on other platforms, and I'm going to show you how, because we are still going to look at how to put your books um, especially on Okada books. Yes, so Okada books requires you to use Ebook. So I would advise you select the two formats and then you export. Now, after exporting your book, we now have the Kindle file. So let's go back to so this is the book. This is the book. Yeah. So let's go back to Amazon because I still need to show you a few things. Before we publish, we go to accounts. You click on your account because you might probably be setting up this for the first time. So you will need to be able to set up your account so that you can get your payments. Now you'll be required to um, put in an OTP that will be sent to you. So they do this for security reasons because this is where um, you control how you get your payments, right? I put in the number and then I'm able to sign into my account. Now, I have already done everything I need to do on this account. So I just want to put you through so that you know what you're expected to do. Now, on this account publisher information, you have the business type. What you do in the business type, most times you select individual because you are an individual. But if you are signing up as a business, as a corporation, you can select corporation. Date of birth, and you put in the date of birth. The date of birth must correspond with that of the account holder. So even if you are choosing corporation, you must ensure that it's the account holder's date of birth that you put here. So then you put in your country. Please make sure. Some people think that because we are in Nigeria and because we want to get our payments that we have to lie. No, you don't have to lie. Make sure that everything you put in here is something you can prove, something you have the ID card to. Make sure it's something you can prove. Then you put in your address, everything, your postal code, and stuff like that. If you don't know your postal code, all you have to do is you simply search your postal code. Go to I think let me go to just search Nigerian postal code, and you have a website. We have a website where you can get all the postal codes. So let's look at that now. Go to nigeriapostcodes.com. On this postcode.com, you can select your country, you can see categories, select your states, and you will see all the postal code. You also have the zipcode.com.ng. You can also find all the available postal code there. Then when you have done that, before you are able to add your bank account, you'll be required to provide tax information. Now let's view the tax information so that you see what you're expected to do. You are expected to take your tax interview. So I wouldn't want to take the tax interview again because I've taken that. But make sure that every information you provide, it will be asking you if you are a US citizen. You are not. So please select that you are not a US citizen, except you are. It will be asking you your country of origin, whether you work in USA and all those stuff. Any question it asks you, please make sure you have the correct information. And then here you have the option to go paperless or to go for paper delivery. When you go for paper delivery, it means they'll be sending you your year-end tax forms to your address. They'll be sending it to your address. So I am going to select go paperless because I don't have any reason why they should be sending me paper. All right. Okay. So I'm going to exit this. So after you've completed your tax information, after you've completed it, you can be able to receive payment. Now the question is, how do I receive payment? And this is where we do another exercise. All right, remember you are receiving payment in dollars and they only pay into your account, into a US bank, into they don't pay into Nigerian bank accounts. For example, when you look at the list here, you see that Nigeria is not on this list. So we have a lot of, we have so many countries here, but Nigeria is not among, Ghana is not among, so many countries in West Africa is not among. So what we have to do is we have to see how we can get a US bank account. And how do you do this? If you are in Nigeria, this solution only applies to Nigerians. For other persons, we have another option. So for Nigerians, you can use GPay. You can use GPay. All right. So this is the global banking for Africa's professionals. So with GPay, you need to sign up on GPay. I'm not going to go through the details. It's very simple. It's very easy. You need to go to GPay. Okay, let me see if I can even log in, and so you see what the dashboard looks like. When you sign up on GPay, you are given a US bank account where you can actually receive dollars. So give me a little time to be able to get my code, and let's continue. Okay, so um, do we have a code from GPay yet? No. Okay, we don't have a code from GPay yet. All right, so we have a code from GPay. The code says the code says 121137. So this is what the GPay looks like. You can see our virtual master USD Mastercard is now available. That means I can even get a USD Mastercard, and I can make payments. I can buy things in dollar. So I'm not ready for this now. I'm not ready for this now. So let's get to the dashboard. So on the dashboard, we have the Nigerian account, we have the uh, UK account, we have the Euro account, and we have the dollar account. So for the dollar account, we have this is my account. So this is the account. It's a checking type account. So these details are the details I can use on my Kindle to receive my money. So this is my proof of account. This is my proof of account. It can be sent to anyone as a proof of account. Yeah. So this institution um, recognizes me as the account holder. All right. So that is how you can have your. Remember, I said GPay. Now, if you are not a Nigerian and you are taking this course, then the other option you have is Payona. I wouldn't know if you have other services in your country. You might want to make that research yourself. But we have Payona. Payona also allows you to set up an account with them, and you'll be given US account. The reason why I don't like Payona is that Payona is very, very expensive to use. At the end of the day, if you are simply making a little money with Payona, then that means your money is you are making the money for Payona. But if you're making thousands of dollars, then Payona will be right for you. So I wouldn't take you through the process. It's super easy. Simply set up your account, and when you get your bank account, come to add account. And probably your bank account is United States. Select United States and put in the details, every detail that has been given to you, and then you click on add. That is how to get it done. All right, so we are done with setting up our KDP account for getting money, right? So this is how you can now publish your book. Okay, so first of all, you click on create. When you click on create, you have the Kindle ebook, you have the paperback, you have the hardcover, and you have the series page. So I'm going to explain them one after another. The Kindle ebook is for your digital books. So books you read through your handheld devices, your smartphone, and all those stuff. The paperback is your title that's available in print, your book that's available in print and can be shipped around the world. It is your normal paperback book. And then the hardcover is also a print book that can be shipped around the world. It's your books in very hardcover, very hardcover. And then you have the series book. If you want to build a category of book, maybe you're writing volume one, volume two, or series one, series two, season one, season two, season three, and all those stuff. That is where the series page comes in handy. So how to create these books are almost basically the same. So first of all, let's go to create ebook. All right. Now, this is the book. Remember, I'm not going to be publishing this book. So this is just for, I'm still going to get it removed. So let's title this book My Super Story. My Super Story. And then subtitle is optional, it's not a must. Title is a must. Then if it's series, you can put in the details here. If it's series one, you can add the details. So you can, is it a new series or is it an existing series? So you can decide that for yourself. And then the edition number is also optional. You can provide an edition number if this title is a new edition of an existing book. So you can put in the details here. And then for the author, this is where you put in the primary author. This is where you put in your name as the author. And one thing with Amazon is that you can also use a different name. It is allowed. So you can read it here. Pen names are allowed. You can use pen names. You can use pen names. So I can say my name is George McOwell, and I can publish books with that name. It's allowed. Then you can, assuming you have a contributor or a co-author or someone who edited your book, someone who forwarded your book, you want to add these credits, you can add the credits. So you can see I can add as much credits as I can. So for this one, I can select author. So this will be my co-author. I can select editor. I can select forward. I can select illustrator. I can select introduction. So I can add as much as possible. As much as possible. Then here is where you put in the description of your book. Very, very, very important. This is where you put in the description of your book. You type in the description of your book. Now, I'm still going to show you how to use AI to enhance some of these things, but that's going to be a standalone course on its own. It's going to be a standalone course. So how to use AI to get all these things done. So this is where you put in the description of your book. If you understand HTML, you can also use HTML code to design your book by clicking on source here. All right. Now, on the publishing rights, you choose if you own the copyright or not, or if the book is a public domain. Public domain books are books that you can publish them, but they are in public domain. You don't own rights to them. But if it's your book, you own rights to it. This is what you need to select. But before you publish a public domain book, please do make sure that it's public domain book so that you don't get into serious troubles. And then you also have to select if your book it has adult content. If your book has adult content, fine. So if it doesn't have, ensure you select no. You must select yes or no. And then here is where you define the reading age, but it is optional. So you might want to skip this so that you don't limit your audience. Then we have the primary marketplace. So the primary marketplace, you can select Amazon.com. Now, this primary marketplace is good for example, people in India can select Amazon India. People in UK can select Amazon.co.uk. But for global audience or for international persons like us, it's important you select Amazon.com as your primary marketplace. It doesn't mean it won't be published on other places. It will be published those places too. And then here is where you select your category. First of all, is it classical or is it general? You can select those ones here. And yeah, so you can also add another category, and you can, is it a religious book, or is it political book, or is it non-fiction? All those stuffs, this is where you get to select them, and it's important to select the right one. Now, selecting the right one actually helps you to get the right people. It helps because people are searching for books in arts and photography. People are searching for books in biographies and memoirs. People are searching for books in business and money. People are just searching for all these books, right? So it's important that you select the right book. If you can't classify it, then put non-classifiable. Okay, so we've done the selections, and here is the keywords. What is the keywords about? Now, these keywords are words that you want people to be able to see your book if they are searching for a particular book. So if you want people to see your book if they are searching for Nigerian children stories, then you put in the keyword African children stories. You put in the keyword stories about children. You put in the keyword. You are allowed to put up to 7 keywords. And then here you can say if you want to publish your book now or if you want to make it available for pre-order. Because I'm not publishing this book yet, I want to make it available for pre-order because I'm still going to delete it. So if you want to publish your book immediately, you have to select release my book now. But remember, selecting release my book now does not guarantee that your book is going to be released immediately. Your book is still going to pass through review process, and sometimes it can take up to 72 hours to get your book reviewed. So let's select, let me choose pre-order. Now, pre-order is also very important. If you are publishing on Amazon, I would recommend using pre-order to create hypes around your sales. So even if your book is ready, you can still decide to release your book on a specific day and create hype around it. It's good for marketing. So let people pre-order your book and wait for the launch, right? So let's say our pre-order, our book is going to be published on September 30th. All right. Then we save and continue. Take note of this. You must submit the final version of your pre-order before September 26th. So you must make sure your final version is ready before that date so that they don't publish the wrong stuff to people. Okay, we have some errors that we need to fix. All right, the primary author. I want to use Mark Owen. Mark Owen Grace. Okay, so save and continue. And then we are brought to this part. Now, your manuscript, if your manuscript is ready, you can add digital rights management on Kindle eBooks. But okay, let me explain what this thing means. If you read the ebook we have, you can also understand this. You must have understood this already. So the digital rights management um, is actually it inhibits unauthorized distribution of your file. However, it means that not a lot of people will, will actually have access to your book. So, in as much as people do use this to protect their book, sometimes I don't always recommend you having this thing enabled. Yeah, I don't always recommend having it enabled so that your book can go viral if it has to go viral. Yes. Sometimes we are so much concerned about piracy. Very true, very true. Yes, very true. Piracy is terrible. But on the other hand, adding digital rights management sometimes can also limit the spread of your book. It can limit where your book can enter. So what this means is that your book cannot be downloaded. They must have to read it on the platform. So that is why it's even an option. It's an option. So you can see some authors want to encourage readers to share their work and choose not to have DRM applied to their book. If you choose DRM, customers will still be able to lend the book to another user for a short period and can also purchase the book as a gift for another user from the Kindle store. Once you publish your book, you cannot change its DRM settings. So you must make sure this is what you want to do before you activate it. And then if you have the file to upload already, You choose from the KPF file that we've generated using the Kindle Create, and then you upload it. Okay, so upon uploading our book, it's processing the file. Now we are going to select the cover. I go to, okay, so it has to be JPG and not PNG. So you come to this place to select JPG. So it has to be JPG and not PNG. All right. Okay. So I select this and allow it to upload. Okay. So you can see we've uploaded to this thing successfully. And then we have the Kindle ebook preview. It may take some time to convert the preview. So you have to wait for the preview to get converted. The processing is done and we can launch the previewer. So you can see from this online preview and quality check that there are two possible spelling errors. So we can launch preview to know what these errors are and to know if it's something we can ignore. But remember, the manuscript I'm using is not necessarily titled My Story. So I'm not planning to use that manuscript. So when you launch preview, and you can also do all these things with your phone, just that it's going to take you time. So when we select the preview, you can simply dismiss this, and then these are the issues. So here we have Josh Nad, which they see as a spelling error, and here we see on save, which they see as a spelling error. I know where these things are coming from, and I don't think it's an error. It was intentional, so I can simply click on ignore all. Now, if the error you see is something that is truly an error, that means you have to go back to your manuscript and get it changed. So when I've ignored it, you can see the spelling error is now 0. So this is the preview of my book. Remember, this is the manuscript. I've published this book before, but I'm just using the manuscript to test for purpose of training. So this is what the book looks like, and the contents are also can also be navigated. So when you click on one, it takes you to chapter 1. If you paid attention to our formatting class, you must have seen how we were able to get these things done. You can also pay attention to the ebook that came with this course, and you'll be able to do all of that. Okay, so we are done with our quality check, and the next thing we can do is ebooks don't need ISBN, but if you have ISBN, you can use it here. And if you want to use a name as your publisher name, you can also use the publisher name here. But these things are optional, and you can leave it, or you can leave it, or you can put something there if that's what you want. And then when you save and continue, it takes us to the next step, which is the pricing. So this is where you decide how much you want to sell your book. Remember what I said before about KDP Select enrollment. If you want to enroll your book to KDP Select, so you can select enroll my book in KDP. And if you want your book to be limited to certain markets, you can select where you want your book to be available. You want it to be available only in the United States, you can select. You want it to be available only in maybe United States and Nigeria, You can also select that. But no, that's not what we want to do. We want it to be available in all territories worldwide. And then we've chosen our marketplace before. So here is another tricky part. This is where you select your royalty plan, how much you want to be getting from your book each time it is sold. Remember, if you're selling your book $3, $4, $10, it doesn't mean you are getting $10. You are simply getting 35% or 70% of the money, depending on what you select. So if your book does not have weight, if your book does not have, is not the size is not big, the kilobytes, the MB, I will advise you to select 70%. So selecting 70% means that um, Amazon charges you for delivery, but we are going to see how they calculate that. So let's price our book $10. Let's Okay, for ebooks it must be between 2.99 to 9.99. It's not going to exceed that. So let's um, give it $9. Now we've given it $9, and Amazon charges us $6, 0.6 cents for the delivery of 0.41 MB file, and then we have 6.26 royalty available. So most people think that by selecting 35%, that Amazon will help them to distribute their book. It doesn't work like that. The reason why Amazon charges this way is so that if your book is heavy, you would want to, okay, I wouldn't want to pay for delivery. I just want to get my royalty. But my book is not heavy, so there's no point getting 35%. So if you look at your file size and you look at the delivery cost, you do your mathematics and know what is right for you. Okay. So these are the amount I'm paying for the distribution, the delivery. So it's nothing, 0.6 cents generally. So I'm going with the 70%. Now, after you are done with setting up your book, you can remember what I said about KDP Select. Yeah, so pay attention to that. So you can submit for pre-order. If you did select pre-order, you can submit and your book is live. So we've been able to cover certain things in this particular module, in this masterclass. We've been able to see how you can get your account, your US account ready to be receiving your money. And from that GPay, you can also transfer the money directly to your bank account. From Payona also, you can transfer your money to your bank account. But I said I don't recommend Payona for Nigerians because Payona is very, very expensive. All right, so I think I've been able to cover everything as regards to publishing on KDP. Now, the next thing, that is in terms of ebook, the next thing we're going to look at is to publish. I'm going to submit this, but I'll still remove it later. So the next thing we're going to do is you can see it's in review. So the reason I wanted to submit it is so that you can see this option. Now you can see the name I used is Mark Owen Grace. I didn't use my real name, and it is permitted to use names that you like. We have what we call pen name when it comes to writing. So you can write with a different pen name. All right, so after publishing your ebook, you are asked to publish your book as a paperback. If you are not ready to publish as paperback, you can close. But if you are ready, you click on Start Your Paperback Now. The reason why I recommend starting this way is because you don't have to waste your time going all over again to add your descriptions and everything. So all those things has been done, including the manuscript that you uploaded. So all you have to do is just scroll down and save next, because all the contents are available already. Okay, you can choose you still have to choose your category. I'm choosing any category just for the sake of time. The same thing that we did in the other one. Then you can choose the one that applies. Is your book low content book or large print book? You can choose all that apply. That is, if your book is a journal, or notebook or planners. We are still going to look at this when we talk about publishing low content book. All right, so we save and continue. And then Kindle gives you free ISBN for your paperback. While ebook doesn't need ISBN, your paperback needs ISBN. So if you have ISBN, you can use your ISBN, but you can use free KDP ISBN. Remember, this KDP ISBN, you are not allowed to use it on any other publishing platform. And then you put in your publication dates. So we want it to be available today because you are not allowed to do pre-order for paperback. Then you select the type of book you want. Do you want cream paper or white paper or standard color interior or premium color interior? So depending on the type of book you've written, you can select the one that applies. For our kind of book, it's black and white interior. And then our trim size, we want to select a trim size. So the trim size we have here is 6 by 9 inches. And you can select a different size. Let's select 5 by 8. Okay, we've selected 5 by 8. Because our book is not in PDF, you have to leave this the way it is. And then if you want your book, that is your cover, to be glossy or matte, if you want your cover to be glossy or matte, you can select as it applies. So anyone that applies, you can select manuscript. So you still have to upload the previous manuscript, the KPF file. You select the KPF file. Then so that's why I said when you are formatting your book, why I recommend KPF. If you do it right, you have one single file for both your paperback and your your ebook. For the paperback cover finish, you already know what matte and glossy is. In case you don't know, glossy is those kind of paperback that leaves the finishing is shiny, right? Then matte is a bit dull, yeah, but they are laminations done to your cover. And then we've selected our manuscripts. We've selected our manuscripts and it's processing. So the same way, you can also use the cover creator to create your cover, or you can upload your already designed cover. You can upload your already designed cover. So when you open the cover creator, this is what you have. It will ask you to choose an image from your gallery or from your computer, or you skip this step. So these are the templates you have that you can customize. These are the templates you can customize. So any design you choose, you can customize them as you deem fit. The text here can be edited. So all the texts here can be edited. Yeah. So anyone you want to do, you can. It's easier. It's always easier to use this cover creator for a paperback if you don't know how to do your paperback cover. But with what we discussed previously on cover, you can see that you can get it done. Now, finally, this is what we have. Finally. It's almost fitting. So interestingly, we almost got it correctly. Yeah, interestingly, we almost got it correctly. And I even think we got it very, very correct. I think we got the design very correct. So my guess was right. Now, this red place is where they will cut from. These are places they will trim from. You understand that? So it means every design fell into place. So when I click on approve, let's see what happens. So my cover seems to be nice. Let me preview this book again. Let's see how the book generally looks like. So normally before you design your cover, please make sure you've formatted your book with Kindle Create so that you don't have any issue. All right. So this is what the book looks like generally. Um, so this is what the print copy will look like. Okay. So I've already approved. Now, when you look here, you can see how many pages. Or well, this does not necessarily represent the pages. Um, okay, so what we have in total is 135 pages of a certain trim size. So you can always use this to know your numbers and generate your cover in case it doesn't fit. Okay, so I'm approving this, and then I can go ahead to save and continue. It didn't give me any error. If there were error, I cannot continue. Can't continue. So this is what it will cost to print this book. It will cost them $2.62 to print the book. So when I save and continue to the pricing, I can set my costs. Now, I cannot sell this book $2 because it doesn't meet the printing cost. The least I can sell it is 4.37, but I want to sell it $15. So when I choose $15, it means I can also select expanded distribution. What does expanded distribution means? Expanded distribution means distributing your book to every other platforms, every other store where paperback books are sold. So both Barnes and Nobles, popular bookstores, I can distribute my book to those places. But the royalty I can get from those places are 40%, while on Amazon I get 60%. Okay, so what else? After this, I can request for proof. Now, requesting for proof means a book will be sent to my home address. So when you are requesting for proof, you are only going to pay for the production costs and the delivery fee. You can request for your author. You can request for so you can request for this if you want to check and know if everything looks correct and looks perfect. Yeah. Then once I click on publish paperback book, my book is published. And this is how you publish books generally on on Amazon. But I don't want these books to be available. So I am going to archive the title. Sorry, I want to cancel the review, and I'm going to do that later. But so this is how, so technically we've published a book on um, we've published a book on Kindle. We've published both the Kindle ebook and the paperback. Now, this thing here I did here cannot be cancelled. So if they approve this book, I'll simply unpublish it. And if they don't approve it, I can then be able to delete. But once you submit your book for review, remember that you cannot cancel it. So it's very, very important that you bear that in mind before submitting your book for publishing. Make sure you have, the reason I had to go through this extent is to show you, I needed to show you that these things are possible, that they are easy to do, right? So please, you have to bear this in mind. Don't publish what you are not, don't submit what you are not ready to publish. I'm not ready to publish this, and I just hope they end up rejecting it so that I can be able to delete it.